Vicky, we gotta get up. We gotta get up. Let's get up.
Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Eric. Back in 2021, I made the move to Austin to hit reset and start fresh. This channel is all about my life here, the ups and all the weird and wonderful stuff in between. I'm calling it Eric Austin in Austin. If you're down to follow the journey, hit that like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, check out my socials down below to keep up with all the extra stuff. Let's do this! Welcome back to the channel. If you've been following along, then you know we've already had quite the ride. So far, I've taken you to a vintage expo, wandered through the Dallas World Aquarium, shared a personal journey through some of my favorite records, and created a 225 video long playlist for you. And last week, yes, we got a little emotional as I honored my mom and my best friend. And today, with heat index readings expected to hit somewhere between 102 and 106 degrees, yeah, it's that kind of day, I'm kicking off with something totally different. I'm diving into a 50-week journey through Reach International Outfitters' Austin Adventure Bucket List. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is an Austin bucket list? And how can I get my hands on one? Well, I'm glad you asked. Coming at you in 3, 2, 1. I've purchased the Austin Adventure Bucket List from Reach International Outfitters, and I'm bringing you along for the ride. Reach International Outfitters, also known as Rio, is all about getting out there and actually experiencing life. They've created these really cool adventure decks that highlight unique activities in cities and states across the U.S., and this one is all about Austin. From outdoor adventures and local food spots to unexpected gems you probably haven't heard of, this deck is packed with fun. So here's how it works. Each card in the deck has a hidden activity or experience printed on it. I'll scratch off a new one each episode and then go out and do the thing. Simple as that. It might be something classic like paddleboarding on Lady Bird Lake, or something totally unexpected like discovering a secret speakeasy, trying an off-the-wall menu item, or exploring neighborhoods you've never taken the time to check out. And whatever it is, guess what? You're coming with me. This is my way of breaking out of the routine, seeing more of the city, and hopefully inspiring you to do the same, whether you're in Austin or not. If you want to follow along with your own bucket list, there's a QR code on the screen that'll take you right to Rio's website. Or if it's easier, I've also dropped the link down in the description below so you can check it out at any time. These decks are organized by location, so even if you're not in Austin, there's probably one made just for your state or region. It's honestly a super fun way to explore where you live, plan weekend adventures, or even use as a gift idea. So, if you're into discovery, good vibes, getting a fresh look at Austin, go ahead and hit subscribe, tap the bell, and join me on this journey. Every episode is a brand new adventure, and I have no idea what's coming up next, which makes it way more exciting. Let's make some memories. Let's cross some stuff off the list. Let's explore Austin, one scratch off at a time. Hey, thanks for dropping in this week. And we're back. So, while recording this week's episode, I made a humbling discovery. I cannot throw. Specifically, I can't throw anything, especially a box. I mean, I tried. I gave it some flair, I gave it some drama, but that thing just kind of floated weirdly, spun out, and landed like a soggy pancake. Somehow, it managed to defy physics and grace at the same time. But you know what? I'm not alone. Mariah once threw the first pitch at a baseball game, and it was pure elegance. She tossed it like she was releasing a perfume sample into the breeze. All heels, hair, absolutely zero intention of reaching the plate. Iconic. Honestly, Mariah and I, same form, same follow through, same complete lack of trajectory. She hits high notes, I hit the floor, both unforgettable. All right, here we go. It's officially time to scratch off the first card in my Austin Adventure bucket list from Reach International Outfitters. I have no idea what's on this card. Could be something chill like visiting a local coffee shop. Could be something that pushes me way out of my comfort zone. Either way, we're in this together. This deck is packed with 50 hidden adventures all around Austin, and the whole point is to get out, explore, and experience the city in ways you normally would not. And just like that, I've already made a freaking mess. Glittery flakes everywhere. I'm in my element. This better lead to an adventure that doesn't involve explaining why my floor looks like a craft store exploded. Joanne's anybody? Spoiler alert, I always have a vacuum on hand for such unexpected messes. Let's quickly talk about why it's important to bleach your countertops, especially in the kitchen. Even if your counters look clean, they can still be covered in invisible bacteria from raw meat, produce, or just daily use. Bleach kills 99.9% of germs, including things like salmonella and E. coli, which can cause serious foodborne illnesses and disgusting bathroom habits. So, if you're prepping food, cleaning up after cooking, or just want a truly sanitized surface, bleach is your best friend. Just make sure you're using it safely and ventilating the space. Clean counters, fewer germs, less drama. Da 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 da! Drum roll, please. This week's episode is dedicated to bats. If you've spent any time in Austin, you've probably heard about our most famous flying locals. And no, I'm not talking about musicians on scooters. I'm talking about bats, millions of them to be exact, who call the South Congress Bridge home. So here's the deal. Every evening from roughly March to October, just before sunset, nearly 1.5 million Mexican free-tailed bats emerge from underneath the bridge in this dramatic, swirling black cloud that stretches across the sky. It's wild, it's eerie, and it's very Austin. Why are they under the South Congress Bridge, you ask? Well, back in the 80s, my favorite decade, people thought it was a problem, but it turns out the bridge's concrete expansion joints, those long, narrow gaps, make perfect little bat condos. Seriously, it's like luxury real estate for winged night creatures. And the bats, they're Mexican free-tailed bats. Known for their long migrations, high speed flight, they can fly up to 100 miles per hour, and appetite for bugs. Which brings me to this. These bats aren't just flying around being spooky for fun, they're actually doing us a huge favor. Each night they eat tons of insects. We're talking mosquitoes, crop pests, you name it. That makes them a major asset to the local ecosystem and agriculture. Their presence tells us the environment is in decent shape because bats are sensitive to pollution, pesticides, and habitat loss. So if you've got bats, you've probably got balance. So next time you hear someone say, keep Austin weird, remember we've got millions of tiny bug eating aviators living rent free under a bridge doing environmental work for free. Today we're going to visit the bats where they're currently vacationing right here in downtown Austin. Bring snacks, just not the flying kinds. Here we are on the iconic South Congress Bridge, and yes, we're a little bit early, so while we wait for our flying friends to make their big entrance, indulge me for a minute while I drop some informational nuggets on you. We'll talk a bit about downtown Austin, Lady Bird Lake, and of course the bridge we're currently standing on, because hey, context is cool. Let's start with where we are, the South Congress Bridge. It's officially called the Ann W. Richards Congress Avenue Bridge. That's a mouthful. It connects South Congress Avenue, aka SoCo, to downtown Austin. It's a vital link between the city's buzzing core and one of its most eclectic artistic neighborhoods. This bridge is more than just a way to get from tacos to high rises, it's a cultural landmark. Ann Richards was a trailblazing American politician and the 45th governor of Texas. She served from 1991 to 1995. She was known for her sharp wit, progressive values, and strong advocacy for women and minorities. She was one of the most recognizable Democratic leaders of her time. Before becoming governor, Richards served as Texas state treasurer and gained national attention with her memorable keynote speech at the 1988 Democratic National Convention. As governor, she championed public education reform, prison system improvements, and diversity in state government. Richards was also known for her bold personality, white bouffant hair, and unapologetically Texan spirit. The South Congress Bridge was renamed Ann W. Richards Congress Avenue Bridge in her honor, recognizing her lasting impact on Texas politics and culture. Back to the bridge. Originally built in the late 1800s as a wooden toll bridge, it was upgraded to concrete in 1910 and then again in the 1980s, which is when it got its now famous bat-friendly design. More on that in a minute. Just below us is Lady Bird Lake, which is technically part of the Colorado River, but was dammed not unlike Mommy Dearest.
There's a liquor store to the right. You should have known you'd know where to find the boys and the booze.
Okay, Joan Crawford. It was dammed to form a reservoir for flood control and recreation. It used to be called Town Lake, but in 2007 it was renamed in honor of Lady Bird Johnson, who was a fierce advocate for beautifying public spaces and conserving natural areas. Lady Bird Lake is now one of the most loved spots in Austin. People kayak, paddleboard, bike around it, walk their dogs, and attempt jogs they immediately regret in this Texas heat. It's basically Austin's backyard. Now back to this bridge and why it's not just a bridge. In the 1980s, when the city rebuilt it, they unintentionally created the perfect habitat for Mexican free-tailed bats. These narrow crevices under the bridge's surface, turns out they're the penthouse suites of bat architecture, dark, warm, and just the right size. At first, locals weren't thrilled about the idea of over 1 million bats hanging out downtown. There were concerns because, bats have a reputation, not unlike Mommy Dearest, as we previously covered. But thanks to some patient education by bat conservationists, Austinites started to embrace them. Today, this bridge is home to the largest urban bat colony in North America, with roughly 1.5 million bats making their home right under our feet. Each night from spring through early fall, just after sunset, they pour out from the bridge in a swirling, dramatic stream and go out to eat thousands of pounds of insects, including mosquitoes. They're basically Austin's unofficial pest control squad, and they work for free. No invoices, no Venmo requests, just pure eco-friendly bug annihilation. And here's a fun fact. The bat colony has actually become one of the most popular tourist attractions in the city. Every night during bat season, people line up along this bridge, gather in boats on Lady Bird Lake, or watch from the trails below, all waiting for nature's own version of a curtain call. It's weird, it's magical, it's so Austin. And the best part, the bats only come out when they're good and ready. You can't schedule nature. So until then, you've got time to appreciate the view, wave to a paddleboarder, or contemplate how a bridge meant for traffic became the home of the city's most beloved winged residents. Oh, and before I forget, Mexican free-tailed bats are absolute athletes. They can fly at speeds of over 100 miles per hour and reach altitudes of 10,000 feet. That's higher than some private planes. So, yeah, they've got range. So now you know a little more about where we're standing and why this spot is one of the most unexpectedly fascinating places in Austin. Stick around because in just a few minutes, the skies above us are going to look like something out of a nature documentary. Today, we're visiting the bats where they're currently vacationing right here in downtown Austin. So stay tuned. It's about to get batty. I hate to burst everyone's bubble, but sometimes nature has other plans. We've been out here for a few hours waiting patiently under the Ann Richards Congress Avenue Bridge, hoping to witness Austin's most famous evening ritual, the mass emergence of Mexican free-tailed bats. But unfortunately, tonight was not the night. Now, if you're wondering why the bats didn't make an appearance, there are actually some pretty cool scientific reasons behind that. Bats are incredibly sensitive to a number of environmental factors. Temperature, for one. If it's cooler than usual in the evening, or if there's been a sudden shift in the weather, the bats may decide to stay put and delay their feeding. They rely on warm air to help them take flight efficiently, especially when they're packed in tight crevices like the ones under the bridge. Then there's barometric pressure. Sudden drops can signal incoming storms, and bats will instinctively avoid flying out into potentially dangerous conditions, even if the sky looks clear to us. And I will say there were several windy moments on the bridge. Another big one, insect activity. If there's a drop in the number of bugs flying around, maybe from earlier rain or wind, the bats might choose to wait for a night with better pickings. After all, if you're going to burn a ton of energy flying, you want to make sure there's a buffet in the air. And look, I won't lie, it's a little disappointing, but that's part of what makes this natural spectacle so special. You can't schedule it, you can't control it. You can only show up, wait, and hope you get to witness it. Now, the locals had a great tip. I keep forgetting that I'm now a local. If you want the best chance to see the bats, take one of the guided boat tours that run along Lady Bird Lake at sunset. Not only do you get an uninterrupted view of the bridge from below, but you also get to take in the skyline as the sun sets. It's a totally different vibe, peaceful, scenic, and way more immersive. We didn't do the boat thing this time, but I think in the future we just might. It could be our best shot at catching the elusive bat cloud in full flight. And hey, I'm always up for an excuse to get on the water. In the meantime, I hope you still enjoyed this journey. Sometimes the adventure isn't just about the destination, or in this case, the bats. It's about learning something new, exploring the city, and sharing the experience, even when it didn't go as planned. If you like this episode, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more Austin adventures, and drop a comment below. Have you ever seen the bats here in Austin? Got any tips for the best viewing spot or boat tours? I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, maybe the bats will be ready for their close-up.